Hello farmers, welcome back to East Vineland. We got the money and I need to spend it. But first things first this morning, gotta take care of the chickens. The chickens need some cracked corn. I think it's called cracked corn. And I can buy it right from here. I don't know how much I should buy because I hope to be making some of my own cracked corn this year. Is this gonna work? Is this close enough? It is. Where is cracked corn? I bought it once, so I know I can do it. Where is it? Hello? Cracked corn? Cracked corn? I could have swore I bought it from here. Must be I did not. So, into the store we go, and we'll buy it from the pallets. Let's try big bags. Maybe it's under big bags. Where's the... Okay, it's not under big bags. Let's go back. How about under pallets? Pallets, seeds, mineral feed, cracked corn. There we go. Comes in 2,000 liters. Let's go ahead and we'll buy 1, 2. I think I just bought 2 of them. Did I not? I think so. I thought about the cracked corn from there. I must have got the canola or sunflowers from there for the chickens. Don't really need the canola, the sunflowers because it doesn't really matter too much. Hopefully I can load this right into the trailer. Is that what I did before? That's what we did before. But while we're down here at the store, we're going to buy ourselves a New Holland T8 large tractor, as they would call it. Let's see if that keeps on filling while we're here. It's not on sale. There is a T6 for sale, but we want something that's got some beef behind it. Not going to do much upgrades to it currently. Standard is 351 horsepower, so that is quite nice. We are going to go with Michelin tires. I am going to go with wide tires, but no weights. I'm not going to spend $15,000 to put the sensors up here because it doesn't seem like we really need them. And license plate, no plate, front and back. And I can customize it later. I'm just going to say okay. Or does it just say... Nope, it doesn't. It just has random numbers on it. So that's going to cost us... It's kind of hard to see with the price down there, but I think it says $294 is what we're going to spend. So let's go ahead and buy that because we're going to be using it here very shortly. Getting us down to $210,000, which is not bad at all. But we're not done spending today. We're just back right in my T8 sitting right behind the trailer. Let's go feed the chickens, and then I'll come back down, grab the T8, head back to the farm. And we need to get it planting this morning. And we're going to get in talking about that in just a second as well. But let me get back up here, feed the chickens, come back down. I'll grab the T8, bring it back to the farm. We'll grab our drill, fill with seed. And we got 3 fields that we need to plant. 4,000 liters of cracked corn. Here we come chickens because they're not very productive right now. Let's go ahead and make them a lot more happier. Cracked corn going on in. Alright, job 1 done for right now. I'm going to bring this back, put this stuff back into the lovely barn on down here. And like I said, time to grab the T8, the drill. And we need to talk about what we need to plant. Because some plans have changed, like always around here. Now that the engine is warmed up here in the T8, let's go ahead and back up to the drill. Grab that and head on over to one of the fields. We'll do the big fields first. Hitch on up to that. Let's go top it off with some seed. Open that on up. That's all we put in our drill is seed. We do not fertilize. We don't have the option with this drill, but that's fine. Hopefully I can fit underneath that, kind of. And top that off. Let's cover that up. Now, this field here, I have installed the crop rotation. So when we come into the... did I not install the crop rotation? Did I forget to save it? Did I forget to save it? No, it's right here. Crop rotation. There we go. So right here in this field, if we look at the bottom right-hand corner where it says precision farming, it says soil type, it says pH value, it says nitrogen, and it says previous harvest, it said it was fallow and fallow, which means the last 2 seasons had no crop in it. Since I just installed the mod, it doesn't know what we had in here. So I guess this field is fallow and fallow. So let's come up to here. I'm going to reset. I was testing some things out on the grass field. Let me reset all these to 0. I wish we had more than one row so we can test stuff. But fallow and fallow. So we can pretty much plant anything and we're going to yield of 115% basically. That's what the numbers mean. Let me go ahead and just leave this blank here because I believe the other field is going to, pretty much... So I can plant almost just about anything I want in this field according to that. What does this field say it had for the past 2 seasons? When I tested it earlier, it said potatoes and potatoes, which is kind of weird. Yeah, so it says potatoes and potatoes. So, yeah, we didn't have potatoes in here, but that will change. It only matters the last 2 harvests. So we got potatoes in, and so you can see the first harvest of potatoes, I would have got 110% yield. If I harvested potatoes again, it brings it down to 75% yield that we could have got, which is kind of terrible. So since the field thinks we planted potatoes and potatoes, what do we want to plant next? Well, wheat will give us back up to 115%, but if I plant barley, I only get 100%. Canola, 100%. Corn is good. Sunflowers would be terrible at 70%. So I think we're going to go ahead and plant wheat in this field. So let's say we plant wheat in this field and soybean in this one again. Do I want to plant soybean? As I found out, soybean's not really the best thing for a fuel refinery. Although, we're definitely going to be doing pigs on this map, so getting some pig food up and going would not be bad. So maybe plant canola? I'd get a better yield of canola. Yeah, so we did soybean last year. Let's go ahead and plant canola in this field. And that should be canola right there. So we're all set. Let's unfold our lovely little drill here. It's a direct drill. Lower that down. Turn it on. And we are good. It feels good to have a large tractor on the map. Not that a class tractor was having much of an issue. Sometimes going uphill with the drill, like over here and there, it slowed down a bit. So that definitely, was putting a lot of strain on the tractor. Plowing once in a while was putting some strain on it. Running the mower on the front and the baler on the back, especially going uphill, that was a struggle. So, yeah, but things are going to change here. We are going to be buying the butterfly mower in April. We're just going to wait to see if it comes up for sale. I doubt, well, I don't want to say I doubt it will. The chances of it coming up for sale, very rare. But it has happened where I said I need this to come up for sale, and it has. I think twice so far in Farming Simulator 22, which the odds of that happening are very rare, and I've done it twice, so it could happen again. Yeah, so we're going to be buying the butterfly mower. That's going to cost $80,000, so I got to keep the money situation at hand. So I'm going to be spending a little bit more money today. We got a couple. Definitely, we're going to be putting down another building, very cheap. I might put down another one. I'll have to think about it because I don't really need it yet, but it will bring us some income in. It all makes sense. If I jump out now and come over to here, so now where it says precision farming. By the way, this crop rotation. You don't need to be running precision farming for crop rotation to work. But you can see the pH value is good. The nitrogen is bad. But crop rotation, it says perfect at 115%. Now, I don't know how this affects the yield potential. So, I don't know how the algorithm is working on that. The coding is working on that. Is 115% off the 125%? I'm not too sure. So, I don't know how it works. But we're just giving it a go. I think crop rotation just brings a nice little mixture to the game. So instead of just keep planting one crop on the field all the time, if you do that, it's not so good. Most of the time. So the reason why when we came on here and you saw grass everywhere, I was trying to figure out, does the grass field change? And the grass yield does not change harvest after harvest. So we don't have to worry about that too much. So I will have to spread fertilizer in this field. We'll wait until the first growth stage before we spread the fertilizer down. This crops should be using some fertilizer after the first growth stage. That way we make sure it's good to go. Now the other thing this allows me to do, so before I would be using the class tractor to be planting the field. I have the John Deere 710. But the John Deere 710 doesn't really do much for us around the farm, unfortunately, right now. But now, since we got the T8, I could send Frank out in the class Arion to do some contracting work. Not going to do that today, though. Not going to do that today. Maybe in a bit in the future. Is that weed going to disappear? It does. Yeah, so the things we definitely are going to be buying here, like I said, the butterfly mower, and the other thing we're definitely going to need this year now is the weed sprayer with a See and Spray, because we'll definitely get a discount, not a discount, we'll get definitely a better score on our precision farming with a See and Spot weed sprayer, because we're going to get weeds this year, because I didn't plow. I figured not plow on this map as much like I did in No Man's Land, and we'll get back into doing some weeding. Now, I don't know when the best time to weed is, so leave a comment below. I mean, I think it's just a matter of fact of just maybe waiting to the first growth stage and then doing it. I should have weeds growing by then. It shouldn't matter if they're in the first or second growth stage, but I don't want to do it after the first growth stage, because that means if I go into a field, I will destroy the crops. At least where we run over them. So definitely probably weed after the first growth stage and then fertilize. That is my plan. So the other thing, since we're sitting here just enjoying me planting this canola in, we will be doing pigs on this map. And the other thing I will be putting on down, but it's going to be rather expensive, is a meat processing plant. So the meat processing plant is kind of expensive. It's $350,000, and of course I'll need an area to put it. So I might have to buy a field and just place it right down in there. I don't know if buying something up by like the solar panels where the forestry is, it's kind of like an open space. I'll have to see how much that land is, but I think that's like $1 million. That's a big plot of land with a lot of forestry on it. And I don't want to do any forestry on this map because Silver Run comes out tomorrow, and we'll be doing a lot of forestry work in that, so I don't really want to get into it on this map here. So, I mean, this is down the line. We're not ready for pigs at all, and then of course we need the pigs to mature, will multiply, mature, and then bring them to be processed. So yeah, I don't want to say it's a long ways down the road, because now we're getting the money in. Things can progress a lot quicker here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this canola planted in here. And then we'll scoot across, start planting some wheat in that field. And then we got to go down to our third field. It's a much smaller field. We'll just see what the crop rotation said that was in the last two harvests in that field. And to me, it doesn't really matter what we plant in that field. I just can't plant stuff that I would need a planter for. So like corn, we're definitely not going to do cotton, sugarcane, any root crop harvesting, nothing like that. I know I said I wanted to do corn this year. I'm probably going to buy a field with corn in it. Fingers crossed that the farmers plant corn in a field somewhere. So, and hopefully it's relatively close. We shall see. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this field done, and when I'll get started on the wheat field, bring it on back in just a moment. Canola in one field, wheat in the other, just about done here. Can definitely tell the difference between the class and the T8. I mean, we're going from like 205 horsepower, I do believe, up to, what is it, 395? I already forgot. Large tractors, sorry, 351. 351. I thought it was 350. I was like, is it 395? Yeah, probably should have my first instinct. 350. So 150 more horsepower. Can definitely tell the difference. It's just basically getting up to speed and like going up hills, down hills. The other thing I'm noticing is I planted the first field with canola, this one with wheat, and I barely have used any seed. I don't know if the modder of this drill, reduced the amount of seed that's being used, I could be just getting lucky with a soil type. I don't have much soil around here, if any, that's requiring a maximum amount of seed. I'm either at the low side or the medium side. I haven't seen the high side yet, so that might be part of it. But we are getting the wheat in, which is good. This will be going towards our chickens and anything extra, possibly the grain mill at the end of the year. If we own that, we should own that. That's going to cost like 100 grand, but we'll get our money back on that, I'm sure, over time. I don't want to say I'm going to have this or that, because a lot of stuff is going to cost a lot of money, and even though the money's coming in at a good rate, it's not coming in that great. Even though I did the harvest not long ago, last fall when we did it, I said that harvester does well around here, but it does well for the fields that we have, and I plan on buying more fields this year. I said fields, plural. I know that could be a tall task. The land around here is rather expensive. But if I get more fields, yeah, that combine is a little on the small side. But we'll see how it goes. Things are looking good. I don't plan on buying any more tractors for a while. The T8 should be sufficient enough for doing what we need to do around here. And if it isn't, well, we can always upgrade the engine at a later time. Because we got the solar panels bringing $3,000 per sunlight hour. We got the fuel refinery bringing in $200 per hour for the wind. And we'll be bringing a little bit more income elsewhere here pretty darn soon. And of course, we got the silage, as always, from the grass fields. Now, will we have as much silage this year to sell as we did in last episode? All depends. All depends. If those contracts and those grass fields come up as silage, I'm going to do them. But if it's hay, we shall see. See how the season goes. Spin around here. I almost thought I goofed though when I was planting canola in the other field. I was like, wait a minute. I can put canola into the fuel refinery, right? Had a little bit of a brain fart there for a second. I double checked. Yes, we can make canola into diesel fuel and pig food and compost. But the pig food we got to keep for our future pigs. The compost, like I always say, I got to find a way to use it or sell it. I'd rather sell it. Compost does sell for a decent amount of change. I just don't have a mod or a sell point for yet. I know there is a couple, or there is one on the mod hub by the same author who made the fuel refinery. So I could put that down, but it's rather expensive. When I say rather expensive, I think it's like $85,000. I'll have to figure out how I want to put that in. Should I pay for a store to be put down, or should I just put it like the town put the store in and we sell the compost there? Not too into it as of yet, just because we don't have that much compost and I'm not anywhere near close to that capacity. So I can always put the sell point in at a later date and then go sell a whole bunch of compost and bring in a whole bunch of cash in. Alright, second of the third field is being done. Not going to bother putting seed into the drill. Definitely do not need it. We got plenty in here. Still got 60% seed in here after doing those two fields right there. But definitely made the job quicker with a bigger tractor. Yeah, just by doing turns, going uphill, getting up to speed, just a lot quicker in the T8 than it was in the Class Arion. But you would expect that when one is 205 horsepower and the other one's 350. So there is that. And mowing our grass field is going to be a lot quicker too. Once I get the butterfly mower, I'll be mowing it with the T8 and I'll have the Class Arion behind me, baling it. Let's come over to here, and before we plant, we got to see what the crop rotation thinks was in here the past two harvests. So let's roll on up here. It says it was canola, then potatoes. Alright, canola, then potatoes. Nope, wrong one. Canola and potatoes. Let's see here. We got wheat and canola already in. Sunflower's not good. Soybeans all right at 105. So wheat is 115 and corn's 115. I think I'm just going to plant more wheat because if I got the grain mill, more wheat would be better, right? So we're going to stick with the wheat. Plus we'll get straw, and then we'll be able to sell the straw. Although I think canola we get straw from, and of course soybeans we get straw from as well. I'm going to check the map here in just a moment, just to see if farmers have planted corn anywhere, and anywhere near us. And then get a good idea where the corn is. I mean, the only reason why I want to buy a field with corn in it, just so if we have the grain mill, we can make cracked corn so I can feed the chickens. If there's not a field that's close by or in our price range, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. As we saw, that cracked corn didn't cost me that much this morning. But I do know one thing as planting today, I'm not really used to seeing weeds in my field because we always plow on no man's land, or did on no man's land. It is good to see them go, but they're going to be coming right on back. So we'll make sure we take care of them in the first growth stage. Yeah, so I'm going to need $160,000. 80 for the butterfly mower and 80 for the sprayer. So that leaves me about, well, we're gaining cash as we go along. I was going to say about 40,000, but we got like 50,000 I can go ahead and spend. We are going to spend it here very shortly. Got a couple more things we need to place down around the farm. One is going to be a workshop. And I tried a few workshops. There was one I thought was going to be nice, but then I put it down on the test map for East Vineland. I have another test map on East Vineland. And a couple of small issues. Anything small, and even combines could go in there. Combines, and I was testing the combine I want to use on this map, would fit in there. But then I was trying to figure out, well, how do I get a header or an articulated trailer in there, because you'd have to back it in. So it's kind of like a garage kind of a thing. I don't want to mention what mod it is, because I mean the mod is good, just not my style. So it's not like a drive-through or something really that simple. And there wasn't much space for the combine or like a header to get in there. So I'm like, okay. And then I thought about using Alien Jim's workshop, but I used that on no man's land. I'm trying to use other buildings and such that I haven't used before. And then I found the one that we are going to put down. The only thing is, I was trying to go with a red-white theme around the farm. And, yeah, this one's not red or white. But it'll be fine. It's mostly concrete with, like, a green top-ish. I think it'll look just fine around there. I mean, you can't have everything red and white, I suppose. And that's the other thing I do want to ask if someone does have an idea why this is. I know up in the northeast of the U.S. where I live, most of the old barns back in the day were always painted red and white, and I'm just trying to figure out why red. And we can all assume why the white trim, just because probably white paint was cheapest. But why red? You know, don't know why, but it's mostly red and white on the old barns. Or just, if they didn't paint them, just the wood itself, which always looks nice. Yeah, but most barns, the old barns, red and white. So our fields are pretty much all set. We just got to go ahead and fertilize them and take care of the weeds after the first growth stage, which could be next month. This field right here, when I bought it, I was like, oh good, we got an arable field now. We just had the grass fields. And now that we got the other two arable fields, this field looks kind of on the small side. I think eventually I'll be buying this field to our left, and I'll kind of merge it with this one just to make it a little bit bigger. Or you could say buy the grass field in front of you and merge it with that. Well, it'd be kind of funny to have this field here and merge with that field. Not to say in the future we may not have it that way. So we shouldn't have to lime for about 2 more years. Lime's not going to, our pH value is not going to drop that much to really hurt our potential yield overall. But I do like the crop rotation. Although I don't think a lot of farmers are doing the crop rotation as much. I think farmers that do corn they do mix up by going corn, soybean. I think that's the rotation that they use. But most of the farms where I am, they just do plain old corn. They do corn to make chaff for the cows. And that's pretty much it. Of course, corn to chaff to TMR to feed the milking cows. Although some farms around here I do see have planted soybean. There is a farm not far from where I am, maybe like 5 miles down the road. Their harvester hasn't been working too well this year. And they still haven't. I think they're halfway through the soybean harvest. And see, you'll be seeing this on Tuesday. And so that means tomorrow they are forecasting about 3 inches of snow around here. So I hope they get that harvested before then. I see the service truck out there fixing that green combine quite often. And it's a brand new one. Looks like it's a leased one. Anyways, we are done planting for the season. I'm not going to say for the season. You never know. Well, we got 2 wheat fields and a canola field. So the 2 wheat fields will help feed the chickens a little bit, and the rest hopefully going down to the grain mill. Let's go ahead and we're just going to drop this off here by the shed for now. I'm going to try to bring the fertilizer back over and fertilize that grass field by the chickens again. Didn't fertilize too well, as I see. This one here fertilized well. Yeah, it says 55 out of 55. The other grass field, the numbers are just everywhere. And I think it was last episode we did it. Oh, look at the amount of milk our sheep have made. Good for you guys. Or gals. Yeah, so that grass field over there, the numbers, when I was checking the pH value, are just everywhere. Alright, we're going to go ahead and park the T8 right here. Good place for it. I need to turn on Super Strength. By the way, the Easy Developer mod has been updated. Now Super Strength does work. I need to move these around because I want to put a shed right here. So we need to move this stuff around. Shove that over there. I may need to level this out a little bit here. That should be plenty enough. Make sure I'm out of the way. Come in here, construction. Give it a moment. There we go. Landscaping. Let's flatten out this puppy. It's pretty well darn flat anyways, but I think our footprint that we need is going to be a little bit bigger. Spread that, and then we'll do that, and then... There we go, and then we'll go into the smoothing tool here. And just kind of do that, and then here as well. Alright, so we need to go into buildings, and we need to go to tools, because it's a workshop. Where is it? Workshop and storage, right here. There we go. So this is by BK Modding, I do believe. Hopefully I remember that correctly. You can see it's, the shed's kind of on the cheap, well, I say it's cheap side. 10,000. Let me go ahead and just, is there anything behind it? No, nothing behind it. And yeah, that's good enough. Boop, right there. There we go. So you can see we got a big enough area to pretty much bring anything in here. I think I can sneak a header in here. Like if I had it on the back of like the T8 and the T8 held it in on its trailer, I can probably get it in here and then I can kind of fidget it back out. And yeah, plenty wide enough for a combine and everything. And over here we do have storage. Eventually I do want to get that electric telehandler and like store like extra lime and fertilizer in there from our spreader. And we can go ahead and store it in there. And of course I can even park some vehicles in here as well. Lights come on automatically at nighttime, it says. I haven't checked that on out. Let me just see where the work trigger is here so I know in the future. Let's go ahead and activate interactive zone markers. So it's over here. Interesting. I thought it would have been like over here. I'm glad it... Okay, so it's kind of over here. Am I able to customize and repair? Cannot sell from here. Not that big of a deal. So that's where that is. And I like the interactive zone markers off. Just make it look a little bit more realistic around here without markers everywhere. That gets me down to 205. I think I got enough to put down one more shed. And I don't know how much this shed's going to be. Let's go back into construction. We want to go to sheds. And we're going to scroll down here. Metal sheds with solar panels. And I forgot to write down the mod author's name on it, but it is on the Giants Mod Hub. We will earn some money from it. And let's see, 60,000. I do want the bigger one. And I wanted to be able to drive through so I can park my headers and articulated trailers in there. That's mostly what it's for. And in the future, we are going to have a 60-foot long header. So definitely going to want to have that put on down somewhere. 60,000. Let's try to get it squared up with our property a little bit. It's not going to be too crucial. Let me back it off a bit. Get away from those trees. Probably should actually put it over here. Because I don't want to be driving on the other farmer's field if I can help it. Trying to make it a little bit more like that. I forgot what it says. So this will actually earn us $3,360 a month. So over time, we will make our money back on the shed. So the sooner I put it down, the sooner I'll benefit from that. So now I can go ahead and put our baling trailer down through here. No problem whatsoever. Our header will go in here. I can drive that, not the one we got now, because that's not on a trailer. But eventually when we get a combine, and of course, you know me, I'm going to get the biggest header possible, which is 60 feet. I'm going to pull that on here and drop it off. But in the meantime, I can park anything else here, and we'll earn some cash from it. So that is going to be lovely. So now we got ourselves a working shed. We do have ourselves the solar panels there. Start making some money from that. And let's see, like I said, the things that we definitely going to be buying tomorrow. Let me just double check the pricing on this stuff. That way, make sure we got it. Mowers, and we got to go down to the Kubota stuff. So yeah, right away it's only 55,000, but I need $20,000 on it because this will put it into a swath in the center. So that brings up to 75,000. And let's see, what does it buy? No, the paint, I think we'll just keep the same. So that's 75,000. All right, that's not too bad. And how much is the weed sprayer on the Kubota? Now it's only 26,000, but I need this, which costs us 39,000, which brings the price up quite a bit. Okay, so it's only 60 some odd thousand. So I think we're going to be all set. We'll see if it comes up for sale. No, wait, working with. Sorry, 18, 28. Might as well go with the big one, right? Get more work done faster. Now it's up to 80,000. All right, that makes sense. So those are the two big purchases that we need to make here in the next month or two. So we barely got enough money right now to cover that up. But as each hour passes here, we'll definitely be bringing in the money. Do I want to do any contracts? Look at all the fertilizing contracts that are coming up. I think I'll be doing some fertilizing contracts in between episodes. I'll just take one at a time and do what I want to do. Oh, wait. The one thing I was going to check after I saw sowing. We need to see, that is for wheat. We need to check the map for corn. Corny corn. Corny corn? Did anyone plant corn this year? Okay, so there are a lot of fields that are not planted in there yet. When does corny corn doesn't get planted until April, May, and June. All right, and so there are a lot of bare fields out there. So if we go to here, if it's not green, it's not planted in. So there's a good amount of fields. Boy, field 62 and 59. Field number 7 wouldn't be bad. How much are those? Like field number 7 is, well, okay, that's 573,000. Field 62 is 500. Yeah, so fields are expensive. So corn, I may be going another year without corn. That's fine. It gets there when it gets there. But the steps we have made from last March to this March in a farming year, just around here is looking rather nice all of a sudden. And we're going to spice it up. We're going to do some landscaping around here, put some trees in later on. But everything has come together. Our fields are all set. We got crop rotation on, so we got to keep track of that with precision farming and all that. 150% yield on the crop rotation is perfect. Yep, weeds are growing, needs rolling. I don't roll, but we will fertilize. We will weed. Everything's looking good. The grass fields will be mowed next month, which will have a butterfly mower on that sucker, and I'll be able to mow these fields, well, 3 times as fast, basically. Sheep's milk. I gotta start looking into maybe buying a trailer for the sheep's milk. I should probably just see how much that's going to be, right? I think that's under miscellaneous. And right here, you can see dairy sheep pack mod. So it's only 12,000. And how much does that hold? It holds 10,000 liters, so that's not bad. It does hold regular milk and sheep's milk. Do my modded trailers... Ah, that does hold sheep's milk in there. So how much does that hold? That only holds... Look how big that thing is. That holds 8,000 liters. That holds 10. What about the big tankers? The big tankers hold sheep's milk as well. So we'll probably start off... Are they both 12,000? Oh, yeah. This is only 12,000. So if I decide to sell the sheep's milk right up to get some cash, we might do that. The other thing I will show you about meat production. That's the wrong page. So when we get into meat production, we will be making... It should already be on the list of the mod. It should be on. You can sell... We will have meat, pork chops, beef tripe, and Jimborn. I have no idea what that is. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. And if someone said it probably the correct way, I'd be like, oh, I know what that is. So I do have an area to sell it at. So good, I'll have to put down a selling station. Except for the compost. How much does sheep milk go for? Almost 800. 844 is the best price. All right. But they're bringing in the milk, which is good. Sheep are doing rather well. And I would like to get the telehandler with pallet forks and a bale spike, so we can go ahead and feed the sheep without me having to use super strength to feed them. But that will be in the future. Your health is good. Food, you guys should be good for food for quite a while. Still, maybe we'll have a telehandler by then. So, not too bad. We bought ourselves a T8 today. We put down a long shed for our articulated equipment, and we got ourselves a workshop, and I'm sitting almost at $150,000, and we should be doing a lot better as time goes by, because we're making money from those solar panels, making money from the wind turbines, making money from the solar panels and the big field, and maybe making some money from contracts. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in East Vineland, but until then, have a good one.